Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
And welcome to Rocket Right. We're so glad that you decided to spend a little time just rocking along with us. Dr. K. Solar is still in Nashville, but she is going to be back in the next week or so. She's got some really great things that she's going to share with us, including some interviews with the Tennessee and Louisiana connections, musicians, artists, and more. So we look forward to when she comes back. I'm really excited to be with you because I get to introduce you to some wonderful people that I admire what they do. I admire what they stand for, and I hope that you do too. So first we're going to speak with Dawn Starns McVea. She's the executive director of the National Federation of Independent Businesses, and she's the executive director for the state of Louisiana. So thank you so much for being with us. We're going to talk with Dawn about the things that make a difference and move the needle in business now as we're going forward. Things are opening up, but we still have some challenges. Then we're going to talk to Rachel Davidson. Rachel Davidson is a local author, singer, songwriter. She's a beautiful soul. But what's kind of amazing is you might have seen a mention in Fortune magazine, or you might have seen some of the other ways that her book is being picked up nationally. You may have also gotten a copy of her book, and we're going to talk more about that book, what inspired her, so make sure you hang tight. And then our recurring good friend, singer-songwriter, and veteran, David St. Romain, who recently founded the 5013C Songs of Survivors and the Baton Rouge Beat Labs. So there is going to be a healing arts workshop in Baton Rouge this weekend on May 21st, and more coming around the state to help veterans come together and share their experiences. So thank you so much for hanging with us, supporting these wonderful people, and we're going to jump into our conversation with Dawn Starns McVea. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Betsy. It's wonderful to join you. Thank you for reaching out, and happy to have known you for quite a while.
We have known each other a long time through a few different lives.
A few different
jobs,
jobs and positions, that's right. And it's always good to see other women successful and really spreading the word about what's happening so that people can be engaged.
We want people engaged. We want them informed. We do not want people to be passive.
That's right.
There's too much at stake for people to sit back and wait for others to make a decision.
Yeah. It's so important. One of the reasons why I love our membership, small business owners across Louisiana join NFIB because they want to be part of a bigger voice. They want to have their voice amplified because they don't have time to go to the Capitol to deal with the legislators and go through the whole process. They're trying
It's
to
very
run their
time
small
consuming.
business. It's very time consuming.
Yes.
Just to park and walk, much less get into the building. So,
but representation is key.
It's key.
It's key. And so if you're informed and you're a business owner, you're an independent business owner, you are the backbone of America.
Yeah.
You're the backbone of Louisiana. And after everything we've been through, I would like to believe we are stronger.
Yep.
But we have a lot of challenges.
There's a lot of challenges. And, every main street in every small town across the state would not be what it is without a small business there.
That's right.
Running and keeping it going. And so we have the opportunity every day, the legislature's in session to go up there and sound like a broken record sometimes, but go in there and tell them, look, these are the things you're doing that are good. These are the things that are not going to help. Just let it go, leave it alone. And so, there's things that they're looking at, like tomorrow in the House Labor Committee, we're looking at a bill that would tie the hands of employers on what questions they can ask about different things. And so, the principle of that is just not a good one. We don't want to, we don't need government involved. Before the show started, you and I talked about, what can government do to help these people succeed and be able to see the other end of this bad tunnel we've been in. And it really is get out of the way. Just
Yeah.
get out of the way of small business owners and let them do what they do.
Well, let them thrive in a way that's not hampering them.
Right.
So it's like if you have a road that is full of potholes and you refuse to fix it, if you're responsible for that, and then you're expecting everybody to be okay with getting new tires every year.
Right.
It's kind of like that. If you are continually putting mandates, permitting fees, additional licensing fees, there's no such thing as a temporary tax. It doesn't matter what anybody says. There is no such thing as a temporary tax, right? And this is a super busy time for you because the state legislature is still in session, and there are 3,000 or so bills coming at you. So for small businesses right now, independently owned business, it can be large or small.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that right now are key that they need to know about before this session ends?
Well, one of the things we're really excited about, and one of those good things I mentioned at the top, was that the legislature is committed to and is following through with their commitment to put recovery dollars that were sent down from the federal government into the unemployment trust fund. When we closed down the entire workforce of the state because of COVID-19, our trust
for 20
fund,
months.
Right. Our trust fund went bankrupt.
Right.
We had one of the strongest trust funds in the country prior to COVID. And so we had a good system that
We had
was
a few
working.
billion.
We had a billion. Yeah. And so we were very happy. We had flush with money that was protecting the people who needed it, the workers who did need the fund, and in protecting the employers who pay the taxes into it. And so we have a trigger law that once it drops below $750 million, taxes will increase on employers to make up the difference and get the fund back up. And
it makes sense in good times.
In good times, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And there's definitely some reforms that we and some other groups are looking at doing in the future. But for now, the important thing is that those provisions of law were suspended. They have been suspended the past few years. And again, they passed that bill today that will suspend it again because the fund does continue to fluctuate a lot. And the legislature is committed to putting in the $500 million into the fund to get it back above $750 million and put this to bed, hopefully, for now.
And hopefully we never need it again.
Exactly.
But we did.
We did.
And it's a good thing it was there.
It's a good thing it's there. And so we really applaud the House, the Senate, and the governor. He had made a commitment to it last year, and he has stuck to it. And we are very, very thankful that he has, because those tax increases on employers right now would be, could be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Fuel cost.
Right.
Lack of supply with supply chain breakdown. People don't have the goods to sell. Their customers are just going to find it somewhere else if they need that, especially if they're in manufacturing or any kind of distribution or, in so many ways, the construction industry would be another one that is really having a difficult time. Higher fuel costs, higher supplies.
Yeah, everything.
It's a lot.
It's the ripple effect that we talk about in the economy. Small business owners have to deal with constantly.
Yeah.
And so it's labor costs, it's supply chain disruptions, it's gas, it's inflation. And what you're seeing is in one of our recent surveys, we're up to 70% of owners telling us that they're having to increase the price of their goods and services. And that mostly is in manufacturing, retail, construction, distribution, things that ultimately will get passed along to the consumer. So it's affecting everyone. And small business owners, the last thing they want to do is raise prices.
Right.
That is all based on where you are. I mean, the sensitivity to that is a very big one. I mean, here in the capital city, obviously, a little more wiggle room. In rural Louisiana, it's not that easy just to go up on your prices to pass that along.
That's right. We only have about a minute and a half left, but I want you to come back and stay for the second segment because I want to talk a little bit more about this. But if somebody is interested in becoming a member, what do they need to do?
Well, they can go to nfib.com. Our website is flush with great information and resources.
Great surveys.
Great information, background, webinars to explain how to tap into all of the federal programs that have been issued since COVID recovery came to be. So we've got a lot of great resources there to help you understand how to tap into those resources, because a lot of people don't want to ever use those because they don't want to deal with paperwork and the government, again, where we make things difficult. So it's an important, there's a lot of great things on our website. So I recommend going there.
So, like Ronald Reagan said, the scariest words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." You know, our government has had to really shift and pivot to be able to help. And there's a lot of help there. We just need to know where to find it. Yes. And it's hard if you're not part of an association or organization that knows exactly where to look. So I'm glad that NFIB.com is there to help people. But there's some great information there, and I enjoyed I'm a little bit of a research nerd like you, and so we like knowing what other people are thinking, what they're feeling, what they are moving toward. And so we're going to be right back with Dawn Starns McVea. Dawn is the executive director of the National Federation of Independent Businesses, and we're going to be right back talking about another way to give you a little bit more of an edge if you own or thinking about owning a business. We'll be right back with Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
The use of opioids and addiction to opioids is on the rise, especially in Louisiana, and I wanted to be a part of the solution. If you have a family member or loved one that you are concerned about with regard to opioid use, please call my clinic, Advantage Health Solutions. You can speak with my nurse or you can speak with myself, and we will talk to you about how to get that person into treatment, and we'll tailor what we do to your needs, and we'll do what we can to get your loved one in treatment and onto the path to health.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser of the great state of Louisiana. Hurricane Ida has brought great devastation to our community. In time of need, Louisianans always step up and help their neighbor. This time is no different. We'll help our neighbors and friends get back as we always do. If you need help or know of someone that needs help or would like to volunteer or make a donation, go to volunteerlouisiana.gov. We are Louisiana Strong. Thank you.
Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar since 2014, with a full calendar available on the website 24/7, clickable links to artists and venues. View the entire weekend lineup at a glance and plan your outings with your friends. View professional recordings of local live musicians, watch interviews with people in our music community, and find additional resources. Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar.
At Trip Chat, we believe special places shouldn't go undiscovered and good stories shouldn't go unheard. Imagine exploring a new area while listening to amazing stories about the places and people who made it what it is today.
This great waterway courses through 10 states, starting in northern Minnesota and ending in Louisiana. The connectivity of the river drains 41% of the continental United States and carries more water than any other waterway. The fabric of America truly is woven from the common thread of the Mississippi River.
This community tapas bar and grill reels in, sautés, and perfectly plates earthy yet refined flavors. By marrying chic urban elegance with rustic Spanish simplicity, we transport flavors from traditional Spain fused with international tastes. Over 240 different species of birds have been spotted making their homes around and in this lake. This beautiful lake is a great place for all kinds of recreation, like fishing, boating, picnicking, and a beautiful walking trail.
When you discover new places and learn what the locals already know, you maximize your experience.
Fill your tote with local treasures ranging from...
Immerse yourself in the culture and communities that surround you. With up to 12 categories to select from, stories are delivered to you based on your interest. Trip Chat, the free Audible tour guide app that helps you discover great places through authentic storytelling, so you eat, stay, and play like a local. Download Trip Chat, then drive, walk, or run, and go find your fun.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
And you're back with Rock It Right. Thank you so much for hanging with us. In a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Rachel Davidson about her book. And this is going to empower you in ways that you just will not even believe. She has a great story, and she's getting national attention for it. Local gal making her way, being an author. And then we're going to talk with David St. Romain. David is the founder and president of Songs of Survivors. He is going to be hosting a workshop this Saturday for veterans in Baton Rouge at the Songs of Survivors office on Jefferson. We're going to be talking more about that. But right now, we are talking with Dawn Starns McVea. She's the executive director of Louisiana's National Federation of Independent Businesses. So thank you for hanging with us.
Absolutely.
So much has happened to businesses and families, and it's affected everything. And so, we want to make sure that independently owned businesses know that there is a group of like-minded people. It's different than a chamber of commerce. Yep. Maybe that's a good place to start this conversation. Yep. Tell me a little bit about the difference between a chamber of commerce for anyone in Louisiana and NFIB, because it is a little different, but both are very important.
But absolutely. And, NFIB is focused on advocacy. So we focus our work on reaching out, educating folks about the issues, getting back feedback on what the real time on the ground feedback. Mm-hmm. We're not run by a board of directors. Our positions are not decided by me or by a board of directors. We go back out through what we call a ballot process. Every year we kind of survey what the trending issues are across the state, across the country. That's kind of the good thing about being part of a national organization. And so we kind of see what's happening in other states and what's coming our way. And we can prepare for it. And so we go out, we ask our members how they feel about it. And that's how I get my marching orders about what I'm going to take a position on. And so it's
a member-driven organization.
Member-driven.
So anything with workforce development, education issues, could be crime issues, could be a variety of different things, but legislatively, nationally, and on a state level, it's so important that people have a voice.
It's right. And you brought up crime. Look, small retailers are under a lot of pressure these days for a lot of reasons. On top of it, you see the things that go on TV about these smash and grab situations. Well, Representative Bacala from just over in Ascension has a great bill to kind of stiffen the penalties on a situation where you might have some people walk in and intimidate a store clerk and take things, and maybe there isn't violence, but they're trying to, we're trying to set as a public policy for this state, don't come do that here, and that's a great thing that we've been able to support, and it's not gotten a lot of press attention or anything, but it's a great bill and it's an important bill. Especially think about if you're in a retail shop and somebody comes in and does that, how terrible you would feel.
Well, then you don't feel safe going to work or opening your store,
right?
And then people don't want to come work for you,
right.
And there's already labor shortages,
right? So it's again that ripple effect that we talk about, and so that's a great piece of legislation moving through the process that we're excited to see and glad to do it. We hope that things that happen on the national scale don't come to Louisiana. We like to think that Louisiana is special in so many ways, and it really is. But still, there are things that we have to be looking out for, and that's just one example of it. So, as an organization, like I said, we focus on advocacy. We're not event-driven. We're really member-driven on the policy side, and getting out there, engaging our members to engage their local legislator, and then, of course, engaging at the federal level as well.
And you encourage people whether they're a member or not, to contact you and say, look, here's my issue. I'm concerned about it. Do you have any information? Or is this something that's even on the radar? And then through all the different member surveys and some of the different policies that you have, and by I say policy, we're not talking about a rule book. We're talking about what are the things that need to go before the local or state legislatures, the governing boards, to say, if you're going to take a third of my money or whatever the tax structure is, I would like you to spend it this way instead of that way.
Yeah.
Because right now, this is my need. That might have been my need 10 years ago. That's not my need now. My need is this.
Well, and that's a great example. When you talk about how the legislature spends money, we always tell the legislature, don't go mandating something like a new higher minimum wage when we're already paying higher wages. Our members report to us that they are, and they're consistently raising wages to compete with what the federal government did. And so we're doing that. But and then on the other side of the equation, we want you to spend the money that we're sending to Baton Rouge, sending to D.C. in a fiscally conservative manner, and that's probably one of the things that ties small business owners together. We're not a partisan organization. It doesn't matter what the letter you have behind your name. You believe in certain principles and your ability to follow your dream, follow the American dream, open and own and operate and grow your own business, pay your taxes, pay what you're supposed to do, follow the rules, but not be set up for a disadvantage against bigger business or against out-of-state businesses. One of the things that we support is the streamlined sales tax collection, making it easier for small business owners to remit sales tax that they collect for the state. They're doing the job for the state. They're out there doing that. But at the end of the day, we have such a complicated, broken system that has been broken for so long. And we hope the legislation will pass and go back out to the voters in November for another look. It came up just short last year, and we're supporting that again because a lot of people don't necessarily realize, if you're not in the business of collecting sales tax.
So if you collect sales tax, you have to pay the town or city tax, or village. It could be a village tax. You have to pay the parish tax, the state tax, and then you have federal tax to pay. And depending on where you're located, it could be multiple parishes.
Right. If you sell anywhere, depending on where you're located, you could have 54 different returns.
That's a full-time job for one person. And if you've got two people that are owning and running your business and delivering goods and services in other areas, it's a nightmare.
That's exactly it. So we'll take you out on the road to help you share the story.
Look,
so it's true.
It seems like, if you opened a business in the 20s, you could have a piece of land or lease a piece of land, pop up a building. You didn't have a sign ordinance. You didn't have all this. It was like you actually could just make a lot of money doing very well, 30s, 40s, 50s. And then we've come up to where we are now. And so the margin of profit, or ability to make a profit, is so out of your own control. Like our family budgets. We have no idea what gas is going to cost us this month. We have no idea what we're spending on that. But then you end up, it was so funny. One of my favorite funny politicians is Scott Angel. He's hilarious. And he said, look, as long as we look good, feel good, smell good, we're happy. But when gas prices go up, we don't have the money to look good, feel good, smell good. And that's so true.
It's true.
It's true. And I just thought that was hilarious when he said that.
That is funny. And, and we always like to point out, gas prices. Think about your small, dry cleaner who maybe has a few fleets that they send around to pick up dry cleaning as part of their business model, right? Well, think how much more it's costing them to deliver and pick up dry cleaning. That's just one example. That's how there are certain things that disproportionately hit small business owners a little harder than your average person or your big business.
And dry cleaning is not cheap.
No, it's not. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. But we're thankful for the service they provide, for sure. So it's that kind of stuff that whenever you realize, okay, well, that's true. So if you see those prices go up a little, that's why they have to figure out a way to pass that along. But like you said, it's already expensive, so they only have a small amount of wiggle room.
And then they're having to look at what is my not profitable business, and maybe you're not on their route anymore.
Yeah.
And that can be true of a lot of different goods or services.
That's exactly right.
You know, and the scary thing is that if we don't come together, we don't understand the problems, we're not going to be able to communicate solutions. And that's why NFIB is so important.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate what you do and the way you pull people together. So how can people reach you? We want to make sure that people know.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great website, nfib.com. There you can find all sorts of information about what's going on in Louisiana. We have a Louisiana-based page, so you can see all the current information there. We have a Twitter feed there that you can also keep up with the current news and things if you get on the Twitter machine. And then, you know, but we post all of our information there. And again, we have a lot of federal resources as well, so you can access past webinars that are really very informative, especially about things like the Earned Income Tax Credit that was passed as part of the CARES Act.
Oh, you need to come back and let's talk about that, because that could make a huge difference.
Huge difference for folks.
Huge difference.
I really would encourage people to go to the website. We have, like I said, several webinars that you can pull down the video of it and the slides and look at that and see exactly how to use that program to your advantage. It's there for you.
Well, Dawn McVea, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks
for sharing. We want you to come back
absolutely
and share some more, because this is so important for women-owned and family-owned and independent businesses.
Yes.
We're going to be right back with Rachel Davidson, author, singer, songwriter, and just stay tuned. This is Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes.
Cancer is our sole focus at Mary Bird Perkins. Every decision we make is centered around furthering care and lessening the burden of this disease. That absolute focus on cancer allows us to provide breakthrough treatments as we continue to raise the bar and enhance patient outcomes as Louisiana's premier cancer care organization. Whatever cancer sends our way, together, we triumph. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're going to love it.
Join us every week when we cover
everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment,
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're going to love it.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser of the great state of Louisiana. Hurricane Ida has brought great devastation to our community. In time of need, Louisianans always step up and help their neighbor. This time is no different. We'll help our neighbors and friends get back as we always do. If you need help or know of someone that needs help or would like to volunteer or make a donation, go to volunteerlouisiana.gov. We are Louisiana Strong. Thank you.
As AmeriCorps members and volunteers, we do more than talk about our core values. We take action and commit to making our community stronger.
At AmeriCorps, my commitment to equity gives every student a strong start.
Our compassion brings food and friendship to neighbors in need.
My determination protects parks in my community.
Now more than ever, your community needs you. What's at your core? Learn more at AmeriCorps.gov.
Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar since 2014, with a full calendar available on the website 24/7. Clickable links to artists and venues. View the entire weekend lineup at a glance and plan your outings with your friends. View professional recordings of local live musicians. Watch interviews with people in our music community and find additional resources. Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar.
Whitetail Properties real estate experts Jeff Taylor and Reed Taylor understand Louisiana and Mississippi real estate. Whether you're interested in buying or selling large or small tracts of property in Louisiana or Mississippi, Jeff and Reed are the right realtors for whatever you need. Contact Jeff Taylor at 601-248-9433 or Reed Taylor at 601-248-9614. WhitetailProperties.com.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen & Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
Welcome back to Rocket Right. I am Hurricane Betsy Barnes, usually with Dr. K. Solar. However, she is in Nashville. She's got some good things coming our way, but I'm so excited to have Rachel Davidson, who is an author, singer, songwriter, and now writing a musical with me. Thank you so much for coming.
So excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped up. Thank you.
So dangerous when a woman becomes fearless.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know how you decided, for those that haven't met you, have not seen you, have not been to a book signing, which there can only be maybe 5 or 6 people who have not heard of you by now because of the national attention you've gotten, the local attention that you've gotten. But basically, you're empowering people based on your own experiences.
Yes.
And now you've decided you're not only going to go after every dream you ever had without haste, without waiting another moment, but you're encouraging other people to do the same.
That's right. So it actually was birthed out of many years ago. I used to battle with so many forms of just fear. I wanted to be a professional singer, but having stage fright is not a good combination to have if you're wanting to be a full-time musician. So I decided to go ahead and start tackling every single fear. I went on the most incredible journey to find out what I could do. Could I change that? I had so many dreams and I wanted to accomplish them. I just didn't know what to do. I was lost. So I went on a journey. I researched. I came up with so many solutions. I discovered secrets, principles, just different things that work. And when I realized, when I woke up one day and I was staring at the ceiling and I was like, I'm not afraid anymore. This situation in the past could have scared me so badly. I have no fear. I feel like I can conquer the world. So COVID had happened. I was like, what are we going to do? I'm staying home. I just dove into my computer and I just wrote the book and I became vulnerable. I open up about my personal stories. I share exactly what I did to be able to sit right here and inspire thousands of people to pursue their dreams and go after their goals because it is possible.
2 things that really resonate with me is I don't think there's any human being on this planet that has not been through some sort of traumatic situation, that has not battled, whether it's situational or clinical, anxiety or depression.
Yes.
I mean, there have been times I've been anxious, I've been afraid, you lose a loved one, things happen. It's called life.
That's right.
Okay, and sometimes I think, the second thing is, I think that sometimes we need permission to let go because we get so comfortable holding on to what feels like sometimes a concrete block because it's solid. It's the fear or anxiety because we're used to it. We become used to it.
Right.
And we think, gosh, if I let this go, then what will I do? Well, what won't you do? And so that dangerous when a woman becomes fearless. I think most men are really afraid of fearless women because there's no telling. We might rearrange the house or we might sell the house. We're not really sure when they come home what we're doing. But I think that women, empowering women and giving them permission and reminding them,
yes,
you are a child of the Most High God.
Yes.
You are created for a purpose far beyond anything you've dreamt of to this moment.
Absolutely.
Where are you going and who are you listening to? And so when I first saw your cover and when you first came and you and Kay had a conversation, I was sick. I was too sick to come. So I missed it. I miss being here with you.
Yes.
But it's like all the things, so if you follow the Rachel Davidson on Instagram, you will get a more than daily dose of positivity. But it's not everybody should be positive. It is like, let me tell you this now. And so there's no way to not listen to that. So of the things that have happened to you since you tackled, and everyone watching and listening has got the ability, the strength, the power, and depending on who and what you believe in, you have got the ability to make the same decision you did.
Absolutely. I don't consider myself some uber special person. I'm better than anyone else. I think that I have the same thoughts, right? I go through the same things. I have massive dreams. I just know standing here today, being able to be confident, to be able to go after everything that I've ever wanted in my life. I wake up so excited. I wake up happy. I smile.
Pure joy.
And it is 100% authentic. I truly mean it. And I want to pass that. I want to pass my story along to other women because it doesn't matter what your dreams are. It could be anything.
I think young women need it as much as women of all ages, females of all ages need this. Because I think a lot of fear happens in elementary and junior high school.
Yes.
I think a lot of times people, you can't do that. Oh, that's silly. That's stupid. You're not going to ever do that. I think the messages they hear at home or the messages they hear at school are damaging.
Very. I think it's unfortunate that things like that happen, but maybe I can reach that mom. Maybe I can reach these other women that I can instill just encouragement to, because that next generation is so important.
It is.
I want to reach them. I want them to feel confident to grow up with their dreams.
Yes.
Know that they can do anything. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's in your heart, you feel in your gut that you're supposed to do it. I want every person to have confidence to do it. We live in a wonderful, beautiful world.
We do.
And we have opportunities everywhere. I see opportunities everywhere. I want people to notice the same things. I want them to where are the inventions? Where are the women who are going to create new things? We have so much to live for. And I hope that my voice can just be an encouragement to everyone around the world, really.
And it is. And so we only have about 3 minutes and we could cover like 4 hours because there's so many things that have happened to you. So kind of run through when you wrote the book and you started promoting the book. Talk about the national attention that you've received.
Right. So whenever I wrote the book, I just started posting my story on Instagram and Facebook, just whatever little things I could get. And my book just started slowly getting into very strategic hands that I never would have imagined this book would have landed. And I'm getting people reaching out to me from, very high places, and my mind is like, wow. But these people are spreading the word, and the book, I've sold out. Every time I get a batch, it's just going out of the door. It's a message that we all connect with. And now I'm about to sell out again. But this book, it's been a blessing. It came out in Forbes magazine. That was huge for me.
Absolutely.
Right. And then Mompreneur, I was featured on that. And it's just been such a wonderful
been organic.
thing. And
it's really been organic.
Has not been forced, and it's just word of mouth. People are finding out about the book. They'll go online. They'll read my story. They see that I'm real. I am not trying to sell you something. I'm being genuine. I want you to go after what you want in life. And it's awesome. I love it.
And so this has brought you to the point where you're writing a musical.
Yes.
So you're writing, producing, staging, selecting actors for a musical.
Yes. So the musical, what's the funny story is years ago in 2003, I actually tried out for my local community theater and was rejected. Just did not get a call back, nothing. I tried out a second time, same thing. And I tried out a third time and it was still nothing. However, 20 years went by and that dream was still inside. And it was 2020, I got the idea for the musical, and I was like, it doesn't matter if I have to build this brick by brick, by my hands. I have this story I want to share, and it's a beautiful, awesome story, and I have to give a shout out to the Ascension Community Theater because they have embraced me as one of their own. I have learned from them. I respect and admire so much of their work and artists. I'm so grateful for them. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the studio, Vibe Studio in Prairieville, that has been so gracious to help me write the songs, record my reference tracks. So it's coming. It will.
I cannot wait. It's going to be wonderful. It really is.
It will be awesome.
Now, we only have about 40 seconds left, which I really hate that the time's gone by so fast. Where can people find your book? On Amazon, right?
Yes.
Dangerous When a Woman Becomes Fearless.
Yes.
So we're going to be dangerous.
That's right. We are going to make waves and we're going to make history and they will not forget our generation. I guarantee you.
So where can people follow you on social media?
So you can follow me on The Rachel Davidson on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok as well as Facebook, Rachel Davidson.
You've got to follow her. I think you're going to get a big dose of inspiration and who knows what you might accomplish. So you'll have to let us know if Rachel inspired you for that.
I'd love that.
It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Thank you for being here,
Thank
Rachel.
you,
It's
Betsy.
wonderful.
Thank
And
you
we're
so
going to be
much.
right back with David St. Romain and the ways that he is helping veterans through a healing arts program called Songs for Survivors. We'll be right back.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen and Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
Some call it joie de vivre, the joy of life. In Louisiana, it's our way of life. From music that shakes up your senses to food that wakes up your palate. That joy vibrates in every note we play and spices up every meal we serve. So come live life to the fullest. Come one, come y'all, come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm Sean Ardway, inviting you to plan your trip at louisianatravel.com.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
The use of opioids and addiction to opioids is on the rise, especially in Louisiana, and I wanted to be a part of the solution. If you have a family member or loved one that you are concerned about with regard to opioid use, please call my clinic, Advantage Health Solutions. You can speak with my nurse or you can speak with myself, and we will talk to you about how to get that person into treatment, and we'll tailor what we do to your needs, and we'll do what we can to get your loved one in treatment and onto the path to health.
As AmeriCorps members and volunteers, we do more than talk about our core values. We take action and commit to making our communities stronger.
At AmeriCorps, my commitment to equity gives every student a strong start.
Our compassion brings food and friendship to neighbors in need.
My determination protects sparks in my community.
Now more than ever, your community needs you. What's at your core? Learn more at AmeriCorps.gov.
Whitetail Properties real estate experts Jeff Taylor and Reed Taylor understand Louisiana and Mississippi real estate. Whether you're interested in buying or selling large or small tracts of property in Louisiana or Mississippi, Jeff and Reed are the right realtors for whatever you need. Contact Jeff Taylor at 601-248-9433 or Reed Taylor at 601-248-9614. WhitetailProperties.com.
Cancer is our sole focus at Mary Bird Perkins. Every decision we make is centered around furthering care and lessening the burden of this disease. That absolute focus on cancer allows us to provide breakthrough treatments as we continue to raise the bar and enhance patient outcomes as Louisiana's premier cancer care organization. Whatever cancer sends our way, together, we triumph. Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center.
And you're back with Rocket Right. We're so glad that you could stay with us. Wasn't Rachel Davidson awesome?
She's awesome.
Awesome.
It's great to see somebody.
So was Dawn McVea, and learn a little bit more about independently owned businesses, how we can all work together and make our voices heard, not from what is in the past, but going forward. So Rachel's going forward, I'm going forward, you're going forward, we're all going forward.
That's right.
So David St. Romain, as you know, he comes on pretty often. We love him. We're so thankful for him. And so a couple of years ago, you founded Songs of Survivors.
That's right.
And this is for military veterans or anyone that has been through a traumatic experience.
That's right.
And then that's grown into having a new office.
Yep, and a classroom.
And a classroom.
Working with kids.
Working with kids.
Yep, we expanded our capacity, not just veterans, but we also have been working. We had an after-school program this past semester with the Struma High School.
Yeah.
And we're moving into our summer camp for our kids. So there's ways to, if you have kids, well, let me just I'll give you a little breakdown. If you don't know, if you're watching, Songs of Survivors was started to just as an outlet for veterans and youth and just the community at large, a healing arts program, a way to, reframe an experience using music, using creation of music as a way to, reframe that experience into a more positive outcome and something you can carry along, like a song that, hey, this song inspires me, or this song brings me to the next the next day, every day when I wake up. So it's just like Rachel, investing in people daily, trying to, lift people out of, they may be struggling and they just need to hear a good word.
They may just feel alone.
Absolutely. And
they may just feel that the people that were in a shared experience are no longer with them, and somehow that doesn't validate it anymore. But the shared experience is the validation in moving forward.
Totally. And then, when they get into a room, like with the veterans, and I've worked individually one-on-one where I'll just sit down with a veteran, and he could be a friend that I know, or he could be a person that may be in a dire strait situation. Maybe they're homeless and he's in a shelter. And, I've written positive songs with veterans. I've written songs that'll just tear your heart out and make you want to cry for hours. And
I've heard every single one of them, and you're absolutely right. They're
very
beautiful. Beautiful.
It's just it's a very just a sacred moment that happens. And I think that when you really put yourself out there and you allow people to, a personal experience of my own trauma, when I put it out there, I know I feel better. And so that people aren't comfortable sometimes with doing that. So especially veterans who are taught to be soldiers and taught to be strong and tough, right? So defenders, and you can't show that weakness, but this is not weakness. This is finding strength within vulnerability.
Exactly.
And that's what our That's really the backbone of what we're doing. And so it's been awesome. Got a lot going on. We started out with just doing the songwriting aspect, but we added the class, and we have a summer camp going on there. So if you have a teenager out there and you're watching and your kid likes music creation, or they want to make beats and loops is what the summer camp is about. Matt Tortorich, an incredible engineer and producer, is going to be teaching.
We need to have Matt on the show.
We do.
Because he's got an amazing history himself.
And I talk too much, so it's good to have Matt out there too.
You're great.
But Matt is teaching that class this summer. We're going to have up to 40 kids. So if you want to sign your kid up, you can sign them up at sos4kids.org, sos4kids.org, and all the whole month of July, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday each week, that we'll be teaching kids how to make beats and loops. It's totally free.
10 to 2.
10, correct.
Lunch included.
Exactly.
Come a little early. Don't be late.
That's right. But you can sign up again, sos4kids.org. I'm about to give you a whole lot of. Start writing. Grab your pen right now if you're at home.
That's right.
And get ready. But yeah, if you're on Facebook too, make sure you do that. But and then we have our workshops with our veterans, and that's really where our next major event is going to happen.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser was an early adopter and donor to you personally. He personally wanted to support Songs of Survivors in 2018.
That's right.
So it's been a commitment to veterans that he's had for a very long time.
100%.
And so through the Office of Tourism, as well as the Office of Cultural Development, the Division of the Arts, which is a mouthful of a lot of really wonderful people that basically are supporting these veteran songs workshops. And I had the absolute privilege of going to the World War II Museum for the one that was held about 6 weeks ago, and got to see the transformational conversations and the sharing and the nurturing and the love that was shared among strangers. Now, that may sound counterintuitive or contradictory, but it isn't. It was people coming together to say, I'm just ready to feel better.
That's right.
And I've tried everything else. And many of them have tried drugs, alcohol. They've been through a lot of addiction, trying to find something to feel better.
Yeah.
And they come to a point where they just open and share what they've been through, and why not try this?
That's
and
right.
It's a conversation where everybody is open. It's confidential. What is shared there is shared only there. And the way you brought people into being open was absolutely beautiful. And I know you've done a lot of work to be able to mentally and emotionally and spiritually be able to do that.
Yeah.
It takes going through that, and I admire you greatly for it. I respect you greatly for it.
Thank you.
And then you also have somebody who's a mental health professional there for anybody that has a triggering episode.
Absolutely.
And so this may sound like, man, that would be so difficult and hard. Actually,
it's
the hardest
opposite.
thing is getting
the
people
getting
there.
Absolutely.
Just get there.
Once you're there, you feel like you're amongst your battle buddies.
That's
and
right.
when you all had that same, you all sign on that line, and you all had that same sort of mutual
admiration
feeling.
for each other.
Right.
Just
so there's a respect that goes into it, and everyone's so
not men only, men and women.
Oh, totally. And I mean, in the last workshop, it was men only, but the previous workshops have had a lot of females, prior service members, and just it really is a very emotional but also empowering moment. And the main thing I love the fact that you were there last time, because you really, if you can speak to it now, you can say, hey, this isn't something that, David, you just explained to me. This is something that I have experienced. I have witnessed the transformation
that is the difference. I
from
knew
walking into the room and then leaving the room.
I knew it was beautiful in the result.
Yeah.
Because I heard the songs. Yeah. And I know you well. But the way that the men in this particular one came together, there was a couple of times I even felt like maybe I need to step out.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman there, maybe I need to step out. But it wasn't uncomfortable for me. I wanted to give them the confidentiality and privacy to say whatever needed to be said.
Yeah.
But what everybody did was just unzip that armor, open their heart up, and shared what was meaningful. The absolute hardest thing to do is for a veteran who doesn't drive well, has health issues, is to get there. If you're a younger veteran, you can get there fine. But you had literally the gamut from 20s
to 75. Was he 79 or
maybe
something?
79.
Yeah, he was amazing.
I'm just telling you, from every fiber of my being and the most sincerest part of my heart, if you are a veteran or you know someone who is a veteran, I think it would really benefit you to go to this free workshop. Even if you didn't have horrible traumatic experiences, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, just come and share and be there and be supportive of the others there.
And speaking to what I mentioned earlier, you are not a veteran, but you witnessed what happens.
Yes.
So being there allows you to speak to it.
Yes.
So if you are a veteran and you may not, like you said, may not suffer from PTSD, but you may, you're going to know people that
You came home
struggling.
different.
You came home, thank goodness you came home in the way you did, but experiencing it allows you to share with others who may need you. You could be a light in somebody's life.
Yes.
And so that's the main thing I try to bring. Like all of our leadership, I want our leadership to experience this because, they don't have to share you don't have to share what you don't want to share, but you participate at whatever level you participate at. And what happens is you end up participating more than you probably planned to.
Yes.
Because you feel the comfort in the room. You feel the peace that happens in that room when people start to reveal pain and they start to reveal trauma, or they reveal inspiration like Chad Chenevert did with Pawpaw's hat. I mean, so
then writing the lines, throwing in lines. I mean, like everybody's throwing a line, a thought, a feeling, an emotion.
Yeah.
How do we say that better? How does that fit? And then putting those words together of the shared experience, that was a beautiful process. And then the way you brought the tune about was beautiful. I mean, I can use that word over and over, but what it was a true collaborative effort. It was teamwork. It was a squadron of people. It was people there supporting each other. It really, truly was.
I love it.
And just to see the way people came together was amazing. So, as usual, we always talk too much. We talk too long. But how can people sign up or sign up a loved one? Tell us real quick.
So SOS4
the number
vets.
4 SOS the number 4 vets.org.
That's right.
Look, just share this. We're going to put it on the Facebook. You can go to Songs of Survivors. You can share it.
Yep. And our main website, if you want to know, is sosmusic.org. sosmusic.org. So we got more links than you can think of. You can't shake enough sticks at our links.
That's right. Thank you for tuning in to Rock It Right. We appreciate you. We hope you'll get involved. And just remember, if you're going to rock it, make sure you rock it right.
I had to do it.
Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar is brought to you by these generous sponsors. Partners One, Better Barter for Baton Rouge and beyond.
Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, Advantage Health Solutions with Dr. Boyd Michael Helm, Hightower Dental Concepts with Dr. Leah Larson, City Group Hospitality including City Pork Brasserie and Bar, City Pork Catering, City Slice, City Taco, Rouge Creole, and Beau Soleil.
Talent 360 Consulting with Vicki Little. Jeff Taylor, Realtor and Forester with Whitetail Properties. The 3rd Street Songwriters Festival. Elite Chiropractic with Dr. Ron McMorris. LouisianaIsATrip.com. Take one. Thank you for making our show possible.